Okay, so where are you from and how long did you live there?
I'm from Calabria, which is at the southernmost end of Italy. And I lived in the central part of the region, and I lived there for 9 years until we moved here in 1999.
Oh, okay. And why did you move to America?
We moved primarily because it's hard to find jobs in Italy compared to here, and my parents thought the education was better here, so that's why they decided to move.
Oh, okay. Can you tell us a little about the climate and terrain in Italy?
The climate in Italy is very even throughout the year. It doesn't really get below freezing ever. I've seen snow once, and basically you could get to the beach in about half an hour, and you could go to the mountains in half an hour, so you get the best of both worlds.
Oh, nice. And what language do you speak?
I speak Italian, only proper Italian. My mom always told me not to learn to speak dialect just because it would mess me up, and throughout Italy everybody understands proper Italian, and then the dialects get more specific as to where you're from.
Oh, okay. So what do people normally do for a living in Italy?
The best job to get in Italy would be to get hired at a government position or be like a teacher, something that has to do with government, like city government, federal government, either one.
Okay. And do you have family that still lives there?
Yeah, I have about half of my family here and half of my family there. All my grandparents are there. A bunch of great uncles are there. My more immediate family is here though, but I'm still half and half.
Okay. What importance do you believe family plays in Italian culture?
Family is probably key to Italian culture. Everything is surrounded by family. Between food and festivals and all that kind of thing. It's just family is definitely the number one most important thing for Italians.
Where you live, what was the closest major city?
I lived in a somewhat major city.
Mm-hmm.
They're not as big as they are here, obviously, but for where I was from, that was one of the major cities. Like it had a shopping center, and they're not common in Italy.
Okay.
So.
And were there hospitals close by?
Yeah, I had a hospital right down the street. I remember going to all the time to get blood tests done and stuff and vaccines.
Okay. So while living in Italy, what was the healthcare like?
Healthcare is probably not emphasized as much as it is here. Like I don't remember going for physicals as much or going to the dentist as often to get routine cleaning. I mean, they were there, of course. Don't get me wrong. It's not like we're a third world country and we don't have doctors and dentists, but it's just I don't remember going to it as often. It might just be my memory, but from what I remember, I never really went for physical as often. Vaccines, yes, those were needed to go to school, just like they are here. So.
Okay. And for the more countryside of Italy, do you know if the doctors came to visit, came for doctor visits, or how did that work out?
Well, my grandparents lived in kind of like a rural little town, so I kind of got a little exposure to that. So yeah, there's mainly one doctor, and everybody's friendly with him, and whenever they refer about him, it's always doctor this, doctor that. Even if they're just talking about his family life or anything, he's definitely a head figure of the town. And yeah, they make home visits. It's not like you go to the hospital unless it's something complicated, and then the doctor tells you should go here and there.
Okay. So did you and any of your family members have any illnesses, and how were they dealt with?
Not that I could remember of. The only injuries that I know of was my dad. He tore some ligaments in his leg, and he was in the hospital for probably 6 months or so, and that was when I was a real baby. Other than that, not that I could really remember. I mean, my grandma died of colon cancer. That's about it. It wasn't in my lifetime though. I never got to meet her. So.
Okay. Are there any home remedies in Italy?
Yeah, my mom always used to tell me to drink milk and honey for a sore throat.
Okay.
And then my so he like boils the hair from the corn to make a sort of tea, and that's supposedly good for your stomach.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And how did Italian people deal with disabilities?
Disabilities, I've never been exposed to any, like I never really saw
Like,
any.
like, say, for the elderly, would you send them off to a nursing home, or how would that work out?
Oh, for elderly?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, it's mainly family care. Again, family plays a big role, so, you just stay home and hope to get better, but you know where you're
So the
headed.
family would take care of
Yeah.
the elderly, basically. Okay. And how do Italian people deal with death and dying? Like, how are the funeral services? Are there any colors associated with?
Yeah, just like in most cultures, black is the main color, and usually the wife and kids would mourn for a while, and after that, usually they just wear black like all the time, and they always have like this sort of hood thing over their head, and it's always black, and I guess it symbolizes that they're a widow. I think something like that.
Are the like funeral services long, or is it relatively long?
Yeah, they're long, and especially in the city. I mean, in the rural towns, it's like a sort of procession, just because everybody knows each other.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like they all just go pay their respects to whoever it was.
And just talk about the festivals. Because we have 30 seconds left.
So you could stop it,
Okay.
and then we could just start talking